works. If you are here, can you let me know if you can hear me? I wonder. Okay. So, hi Laura. Can you hear me? If you could give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. I don't have my computer. Okay, great. Awesome. So, welcome, and I'm so glad you're here. And tonight, I'd like to speak about what is a mystery school, and what is the mystery school in our outer realm, and what's the inner mystery school. And then we'll go into a guided experience. So let's all pause and close our eyes and attune to the breath. Letting the awareness drop inward. We've probably all had a lot of external focus and activity today. And now we are coming in and letting ourselves sink into the realm of the interior, which is exactly what mystery schools address and work with. So allowing the inhalations, the exhalations, to invite your presence to right now. So calling your spirit back from the day, from the list of to-dos. Breathing all the way down into the belly. Relax into this moment. Inhaling, exhaling, letting yourself relax into your body. There's nothing you have to do. And one more time, inhaling. Sighing on the exhale. Good. Welcome. So, what is a mystery school? This is something that I am in a deep relationship with this question and in the evolution of it. It's been something that I have been contemplating and involved in for quite some time. So what makes also a mystery school different than a regular school, even a healing school or a psychic school? Like, what is it to enter into the mystery and enter into the structure of a school within holding the consciousness and holding the framework of mystery? So, you know, mystery schools were in ancient times. They were the places that the seers would go. They're the places of wisdom. They're the places of alchemy. And all the great ancient civilizations have had these mystery schools. So what is it to have a mystery school today in modern world, especially the modern Western world? And the difference between a mystery school and even going to a healing arts school is that a mystery school it's fluid. It's about consciousness. It's about relating to the being of the mystery school. So a mystery school is alive. And I have learned an incredible amount by being gifted and a steward of the Temple of Earth and Sky Mystery School. So, oh no way, hey Ryan. So what I mean by gifted, actually I'm about to talk about Laughing Waters right now, about the mystery school of the Temple of Earth and Sky. It's a living being. So I'm a steward of this consciousness, which then has the structure of a mystery school. So I have programs. Even if I'm working on one-on-one with clients, I'm holding the consciousness of the mystery school, of the Temple of Earth and Sky as a being and as a guide. And so the difference is, through regular school, whatever kind of format, it's a lot of times about knowledge. It's gaining information, which has its place. A mystery school is really about the alchemical process of our interior realm. It's less about getting a syllabus and that this is the objectives. It's about taking a step across a threshold. It's why in ancient times, whether it's from the Taoist perspective, the Tibetan perspective, or the ancient Egyptian perspective, which are the three ones that I have studied the most, is, there was a deep initiation, and not just initiation, but a process of knowing if you could even come up and step across that threshold. If you were really ready to go into the mystery, not sitting there on the outside wondering, okay, what are my books going to be? What's the syllabus? What am I going to learn? That's not what it was about. It was more about, where is my consciousness, and is there a match, and am I ready for this initiation? And it was a great honor to go into the mystery schools. Not everyone, even if they wanted to, could cross that threshold. There is a signature, a soul signature and blueprint that the seers and the guides of the mystery school were looking for, because it's not an easy path. Mystery schools and can get a lot of glamour now, and a lot of people talk about mystery schools, and it's and on the day-to-day, it is deep alchemical work, which isn't most of the time always easy, so it's not for everyone. So when we go and we step across this threshold and we gauge into a consciousness, that consciousness and ourselves are then in relationship. We're in a dance of alchemical alignment. So it's turning, what is alchemy? Is turning lead into gold. It's turning the density into illumination. And so within this process and the structure of mystery school, you enter into the structure of this consciousness that's holding you. And by that, you are then in the cooker, so to speak, for your consciousness to shift, your emotions, the density to evolve. It's about evolution. It's about transmutation and transformation. And within that, there might be different qualities. Like there was, especially in the ancient Egyptian ones, there was, those that that were proficient at being a seer and being an oracle. They trained in that lineage. There's those that have the natural capacity for healing. So there was training in that, but within the context of this consciousness. So it was more about the experience. And most often in any mystery school, there is an oral transmission, because it's a transmission versus a teaching, or a transmission versus just passing down knowledge. As we all know, you can cram your mind full of all sorts of knowledge and have a PhD and whatever, and not having a very evolved consciousness. But when you step into a mystery school, it is the absolute intention to evolve consciousness. It's the intention to evolve the heart, to evolve your being in a way of refinement and being able to simply, be more of yourself, more of your true self, finding that true nature, the bodhisattva, in Buddhist terms. So when I was contemplating this talk and why I was even feeling the need and the guidance to talk about it, is I think it's very important to, sometimes we can be in the mystery school of life and not even realize it, and we lose the gems that are along the way. And so that's talking about what I was just talking about, the mystery school from an external perspective. And so I've been given the stewardship of Temple of Earth and Sky. That being teaches me all the time. And I'm constantly being sharpened by it on every different level. And so that's the external internal relationship. Then there's the internal mystery school that's just called life now. Right? So we don't, even though I'm in relationship with the etheric Temple of Earth and Sky Mystery School, I'm still very much in this world and on the emails and on social media and doing all the things. And so we aren't taking ourselves out of the householder, the daily life of being really present with what's going on in the Kaya Pacha, the middle world. And so the mystery school is this life. It's, before, yes, like we would go to temples, we would go to the monasteries, we would take ourselves out of the grind of daily life because our whole being was placed to go inward. So it was through contemplation, through these alchemical processes. And so even as much as some of us would like to do that, at least for a few weeks of the year, that's not the invitation right now. That's not what's needed on the planet. That's not the calling. The calling is, how do we become wakeful? How do we become more conscious within the density of this 3D reality? How do we become more awake, more capable, and more loving, kind human beings, getting refined in a conscious way within this realm, right? And it's no, as we know, like it is no small job. And so to do all the things is hard enough, much less add in the engagement of deep internal practices and deep intentional ritual ceremonies to evolve our consciousness within this framework. Within the no sleep, overworking to, 3 kids, not sleeping, just like all of it. It's like, how do we stay wakeful within it? Washing the dishes, so I was washing the dishes and we just moved. So unpacking, and I'm in this process of knowing that tonight is this call and seeing where certain things land within myself. It's like it's not an either or reality anymore. It's a both and. So it's about being able to engage within this realm while still intentionally engaging in the alchemical processes or transformations intentionally. Because when I say that, I mean intentional in a way, because regardless, every human being is getting worked by life. That's just life, so even though let's say my family of birth and, other people that I know that they're still in the mystery school to some degree, but it's not an intentional process of invocation. It's, and that's where we get to also empower ourselves, because we're going to get knocked around by life to refine ourselves and refine our hearts and refine our consciousness. So it's more of, do we want to turn and face it head on? Which again, it doesn't make it easier. I think someone said to me once that because I'm a psychic and a seer and engaged in this way, and that things must be like so much easier for me. And I was like, that's funny. It's just like, no, it's like, okay, it's like you engage with in responsibility with the relationship of your own consciousness, and then the consciousness of whatever being that you are in training with. And that could be a guide, it could be Kuan Yin, it could be Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, Isis, it could be a mystery school, like going into the inner etheric temples and be engaging in the mystery schools that way, where you are a student and you are engaged, and it heats up the internal fires of transformation when we intentionally say yes. And it's also very empowering, because then we're not just getting knocked around by life, we're facing the darkness head on, we're facing the chaos and not trying to escape from chaos, but we're sinking in and letting chaos be the avenue that we can awaken. I'm going to see I have no idea what time it is. So that's pieces of the external mystery school, and then the internal mystery school. And the question then is, how do we become more conscious about it? How do we choose to step across that threshold and be a student of mystery? You know, when you just think about that, like, what is it to truly be a student of the mystery? Because another thing, if a mystery school is a living being, that means it's always in evolution. It is not a static, year one, this is what you learn, year two, this is what you learn every single time. I have a shamanic priestess mentorship that I hold throughout the year, and each iteration is different because it's a consciousness, and the beings that make up that school is a consciousness. I might teach some of the same tools, and speaking from people who've taken it 3 times, I explain it different every single time. There's a different transmission that's happening. So it's not about what I'm saying or giving the method of do this, this, and this. I am always aware when I'm on calls and I'm holding that space that I am actually in this transmission of energy and consciousness without the verbs, without the nouns, without words. So it is a consciousness that is being transmitted by my intention and my presence. And then I just happen to also say, and this is what we're learning. And people hear it different every single time because it has to do with who has shown up. What is the group soul like? So again, it's similar. Like when you, I'm sure a lot of us have had that experience where we listen to a tape, or I'm saying a tape. Gosh, who has tapes anymore? I don't know. But I was thinking of this tape I listened to a lot in my early 20s, and then listening to it again, and it's just like, is this the same audio? Because you're a different consciousness, and so that consciousness is not that the actual, the recording has not changed, but your consciousness has changed. So what you hear is different. What you are taking into your system, to your energy centers, to your energy body, to your heart, to your soul is different. And that is very similar to engaging in mystery school. I'm just going to pause here. Okay, can someone type what time it is? Because I can't see the time. I don't have my computer. I forgot to bring a timekeeper. One more thing of, if you decide that you want to engage and intentionally, whether it's etherically travel into, ask to be taken to a temple space and engage in mystery school. Oh my gosh, it's already 7:59. Jeez. Okay. There is, it's a commitment. And so what I've learned from being committed to the Temple of Earth and Sky Mystery School is that I have to show up. And it's not to show up just when I feel like it. If I am really to steward this mystery school into birthing it onto the planet, it's a responsibility. It's just like any relationship, like if you are like, oh, I really want to get to the depth here, then it's if I want to get to the depth of it, but I'm not going to call this person except for every once in a while, you're never going to truly have the intimacy. It has been a profound gift, and it has up-leveled me in so many ways, and it's a huge responsibility. But at first, when I had that experience and just dropped in of the name of the mystery school and what is to come, I'm actually shifting huge things in my business because of it, which I mentally would never have chosen to or said, this is what I'm going to do. So, it's a good thing to pause, if the being comes to you and it's in that framework, because it's a huge gift and it's a huge responsibility. And I've continuously evolving because of it. So that's the last thing I want to say about that. Okay, so we're going to go on a short meditation, and you can sign up for the recording And there'll be a PDF. Actually, it says, I think, bonus guided experiences. Will be a PDF on some of the things I've just talked about. So okay, let's all close our eyes. Thank you for joining me. I feel like I'm on speed talk on these half-hour ones. So letting yourself sink back to the moment and letting all of those words, all of the energy, the transmission comes through sound, which is why it's so important for oral traditions to survive. It's why it's so important that elders rarely will teach or give, transmit their consciousness besides orally. So just letting all of that settle. Notice what you notice in your cells. Notice the vibration within you and around you. Is there excitement, almost like a memory? Curiosity? Disbelief? Whatever is there, just opening up space, relaxing the body, the mind, to allow for whatever is to simply be. And within your inner vision, we will take a journey. Before you is a pathway. You can feel the pull to begin walking on this pathway. What does this pathway look like? What does it feel like? Are you barefoot? What's the temperature? As it meanders around a bend, before you stands a temple. And pause here. Feel the vibration, the consciousness of this temple as a living being. And then discerning whether you feel the call to take a step forward. If you feel comfortable just feeling the consciousness engaging from this place, that's totally okay. If you feel guided, you're going to begin walking up the steps of this beautiful temple. What does your inner temple look like? What does it feel like? What do you sense? You get to a landing where there's a door. If you so choose, you open this door. You enter your inner mystery, the temple within. Taking your time, look around. Who is there, if anyone? What does the landscape look like? Are there windows? Does it open up into a garden? What does it smell like? Is there incense? Taking your time, engaging with your senses. Does this place feel familiar? Or does it feel new and yet exciting? Just notice what you notice. You notice a table and a chair, or you find a seat on the ground. So going over and sitting in this chair, or finding yourself wherever you need to be. Letting yourself relax in this temple and feel it from the inside. What is the consciousness of this place? What is the alchemy of this place? What's the medicine offered? These are not questions to be answered right away. They're questions to let sift through the layers of your being. A mystery school is not to be rushed. The questions are never to be rushed. Letting yourself receive a healing simply by being in this space, being in this sacred temple, this place of awakening and truth. That's your own inner sanctuary, your own inner temple space. Letting these last few moments really open up if you feel called, letting even a deeper wordless transmission happen. And taking a few more moments to take it all in. And then you feel the pull as you felt the pull to go in. You feel the pull to return. So going back up to the doorway, stepping across the threshold, down the stairs, taking your time. Notice what you notice. Stepping onto the pathway, feeling your feet on the ground, noticing the temperature of this inner space, the sounds, the landscape, walking down the path as you rest at the starting place. And coming all the way back to your body, all the way back to your body, all the way back to your body. Letting your breath go all the way into your belly. The ribs cage expands, the heart lifts. Feel your presence, feel your spirit, the energy that comes in and creates breath. Arriving back home into your form. And then gently lifting your gaze, your eyes, letting it be soft and relaxed. And letting yourself come all the way back to this realm. And though that was a short journey, you can feel, hopefully, the potency and the possibility. Oh, Christine, I can totally get into this. Yeah, it's a deep space to go to. And like any journey, we're not just going and journeying for novelty. You know, if we are journeying all the time and just gaining experiences, it can be another kind of form of like watching Netflix or something, right? We don't journey into these spaces for novelty. We journey for insight and for healing and for an awareness shift. We enter in non-ordinary state of reality to be able to gain insight to questions we might have been having with our rational mind. So we want to sink into spaciousness, but we don't do this lightly. So when you journey, whether it's to the inner mystery school or working with a guide, and you receive information and directives, it's important to follow those. So if you felt like you were in the temple space and you felt a directive to return, please do that. That is your soul asking for you to come and to explore. So we want to be also really respectful of ourselves. You know, we live in a day and age where there is, I mean, you could find this on YouTube, I'm sure, somewhere. You know, it's like you can find anything at any moment, you know, especially with internet, like at least in the Western world, right? So there's all this spiritual invitations, and we can just start collecting them like we would collect tapes. I want a tape kick. Like if you collected like the Grateful Dead tapes like I did. You know, and so you want to be respectful. You want to be respectful of your temple space. This is a holy place. It's in a different dimension and in the inner spheres, but it's no less important than if we went to a sacred spot here in this realm. So I hope that was insightful, and you know, letting this talk and these inquiries just bubble. There's nothing you need to attach to. There's nothing to grab onto. It's really about letting the mystery do its thing. You might get an aha moment in the shower or driving or in something where you're not focused. So, you know, just let these questions simmer. Not even the questions, but let these the energy, the transmission do what it wants to do. Let's see. Oh, Amanda, this is a whole new temple space. Awesome. Yeah, it's when you ask to meet your inner temple space, it can be a profound sanctuary. I've had profound respite and healing when I go inward and go to my own inner one. And if you want a recording of this, let's see, what does it say? In a PDF too of the different things that I talked about to just keep it in the consciousness, you can sign up. And thank you. I have no idea what time it is. I'm sure it's after 8. So thank you for being here with me. And so Facebook, I won't be doing a call next week on Wednesday, but I will be doing one on Tuesday. So stay tuned. It's going to be a really juicy topic as well. And as we keep like peeling back these really big, not just ideas, but really big consciousness and really big activations. So love you all and have a good night.